For part 2 of this lesson, we're going to do a little work, very little, on frequency distributions. So if you read this, you can see that in the past, you've worked with bar graphs, histograms, circle graphs, line graphs. You have also worked with frequency distributions. Maybe you just don't know that's what they were called. But if you look at an example that I would say you would see before, you had a set of data. It's unorganized. So a way to organize this set of data is to put it in a frequency distribution. So if you look at your set of data, the smallest number is 6. The biggest number is 13. So you could put 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now tally, you go through and you're like, okay, there's a 9, so I have 1. There's a 7. There's a 10. There's an 11. There's an 8. There's a 6. There's another 9. There's a 12. So I've gone through all 8 of those. I got 8 tally marks. I have another 7, another 6, another 10, another 11, another 11, 2 more 8s, another 7, another 8, and a 13. So I've gone through all of them. Frequency is how many tally marks I have. So I got 2, I have 3, I have 4, I have 2, 2, 3, 1, 1. Easy question I could ask is like, what's the mode? Well, the mode is the one with the highest frequency. So that's my mode. If I said, how many data pieces did we have? We could add up the frequency. 5 and 6 more is 11, 13, 16. We have 18 numbers. Okay, so you have seen that in the past. So how does it relate to this? So this is transportation expenses to and from work are considered essential expenses. So Charlie Jane wants to reduce this expense by biking to work rather than taking her car. So she found 30 different prices for the make and model of bike she wants to buy. She wrote them in ascending order. She wants to analyze the prices but is having trouble because there's so many numbers. So how could she organize these in a helpful format? Well, obviously, a frequency distribution. Some of these numbers are occurring more than once. So she makes this frequency distribution, puts the price, how many times it occurs, and this one doesn't have the tally mark, but she could have just added it up in the data. So that's used to organize her data. But now, if I said, okay, how do you find the mean? Okay, like this, if we said she adds up the numbers to find the total frequency, if I would have gone back to the bottom here, there were 30 bikes that she looked at their prices. So we have 30 bikes. If I asked you for the mode, while looking at this, it appears that 315 would be my mode. The other question that is asked, find the number of bikes selling for less than 320. Well, if we go back and look, less than 320 would be all of these. So if we added all those up, that's the number that would be less than 320. So you can answer questions by looking at a frequency distribution. The next thing that would be asked is find the mean. Well, when you're thinking of finding the mean, you're adding everything up and dividing by how many numbers you have. Well, you don't want to add up the prices because in that table there's two 250s. So instead, you want to multiply the price by the frequency. So if I multiply all these, that's giving me what two 250s, four 275s, one 280, etc. Then what I would want to do is add up all those numbers, and the sum of the data then is 9,250. You don't want to add this column up because this column is just saying that you had one of everybody. So how am I going to find my mean? I'm going to take my 9,250 divided by 30 bikes, and that's going to give me my mean price, which $308.33. So if your data is given in a frequency distribution, make sure that to get that sum, you actually multiply the number by the frequency, and those would be the numbers that you add up. Mode we already went through. Mode would be the one that has the highest frequency. If there's more than one, you would call that bimodal. So that's your lesson. Quick little lesson. There are 3 questions that you want to finish on that assignment from yesterday.